we're sitting here and we're seeing loads of teams that are below Manchester United in terms of where they should be as a club, but they're above us, and apparently they don't have better managers or better players than us. So explain to me why they're above us in the league, because I just want to know.
There should be because you can't tell me Glazers, because that's the thing. When they are run out of arguments, they will tell you, like, run out of reasons. They go back to the owners, because you can't say anything again, like, about it. Like, you can't refute it. Oh, it's the owners, but it's not concrete. You can't discuss it. Yeah, but look at the ownership. It's like, yeah, the ownership has been terrible, but surely there's more to this.
Yeah, but they can say, oh, but it's the owners. Okay, I'll say, all right, cool. What about the owners? Is it because the owners don't pick the team? The owners don't make the substitutions. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't do that. So, and when Ten Hag was in charge, they pretty much gave Ten Hag what he wanted. So, if we're going to say that they're bad owners because they gave him the players that he wanted, cool, then say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that not what you would want your owners to do for your manager?
Exactly. At that point with Ten Hag, we were done. Like, they would have, like, for example, I remember, that was mad. That was mad. They were defending Ten Hag because, for example, 80 million on Anthony, Onana, Mount. They said if we had a proper structure in place, they would have picked other players instead of those. But at the same time, if they didn't buy the players he wanted, the argument would have been the opposite. Yeah, but he wanted those players, and the owners didn't get him the players he wanted. So it was a lose-lose. Like, you blame the owners regardless. You blame the owners for picking the players he wanted and signing the players he didn't want. So what's going on?
But this is the thing, and then you know what it is? It's funny because you see Liverpool fans, they hate their owners as well. They just lifted the Premier League trophy.
Yeah, you can do more.
So what? So what? Like, it's not possible to have bad owners and still win. Well, boy, what about that? Look how many Champions League finals, Champions Leagues, and Premier League title races that Liverpool have been in the last 10 years with their terrible owners. Exactly. And then people are going to turn around and say that their owners are better than ours, bro. We spend way more money than Liverpool.
100%.
Way more money than Liverpool. Yes, our setup above managerial level is not as good as Liverpool's. It hasn't been in terms of who was there, but we've improved that now finally. 100%. But we've spent way more than Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Like someone said, Liverpool has spent 12 million net in the last free transfer window.
Flipping out, man.
So what the fuck are people talking about? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of them ones where, bro, what I don't like about the Glazers is not that they underspend, because no, they've overspent to the point where we don't have any money left. These lot have been literally spending money, to try and get us back in the Champions League, and they're not budgeting for what if we don't. And that's what's got us in the position. They've overpaid on wages, they've overpaid on players to back the manager, which you man always say, back the manager. They did back Ten Hag to the tune of 60 million for Mason Mount, to the tune of 80 million for Anthony.
He got back too much. He got back too much,
bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, these lot went and gave Bruno 350k a week.
Oh my God.
Like, they've been backing. Do you know what I mean? This is what you man asked for. Do you know what I mean? This is what you asked for. They've done it, and now you're still saying they're shit owners, bro.
Because I'll be real, if it was my money coming out of my pocket, Amorim is not getting $1.
Brother, you have to earn the right to even have a say in what we're doing. And this is why these men need to go and buy players for the club, and then they need to buy a manager that suits the squad that we have. That's all you need to do. Fuck all this. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Fuck all of this buying players for managers, bro.
Because the last 6 months was not about him getting used to the city of Manchester. It was about assessing him. He assesses the squad, and he's getting assessed as well. And so far, it's been a failure, complete failure. He doesn't know the good players from the shit ones. Formation is always the same. I don't mind a manager sticking to his formation, but I need to see it.
Yeah, but also there's different ways to interpret a formation, because even Ten Hag always played the 4-2-3-1, but it's one of them things where once he realized at the beginning that they couldn't do what he done, he just dropped the defensive line and said, all right, cool, we're going to play a mid to low block because these players can't play with this amount of space, bro. Like, he still adapted the system. This manager wants to play with all these gaps on the pitch, all these big spaces in between players, knowing that we don't have players yet of the technical level of a Paris Saint-Germain where we can have players isolated on the ball. Like, we can't have players isolated on the ball because we don't have that level of player. You can't have Bruno in the midfield, playing in the double pivot, receiving the ball in space to turn and pass between the lines. He's just gonna hoof it.
Exactly. Like Bruno plays in the 10. Like for this weekend, he played in the 10. And every time we had the ball at center half, Bruno was there.
Yeah.
So I need to, like, something is not adding up to me. And one thing I liked with the back three systems usually I like it because the players are all close to one another.
That's
You
how it's
cover
supposed to be. You watch interplay, it's like that.
exactly. They are close to one another. This is one of the first thing I said earlier. I said at least with this system, players will have a short pass option close because they move as a team up and down, and there's like, and it's the opposite. There are gaps and gaps. And we get man-to-man press that he's never been able to adjust. Every team that man-to-man presses it happened against Bournemouth in January.
Yeah.
And ever since that game, he's been found out, has never been able to adjust. It's like playing, like, what do you call it, with a tiki-taka, with the, like in training when you play like
Rondo.
It's like playing Rondo 11 against 11. You need to play Rondo, you need to have one at least.
You need to have a numerical advantage, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like basically playing Rondo 11 against 11. You're not going to do it. Yeah, it's basically what it is. And another thing, Ten Hag was always doing man-to-man press, if you remember. And what is the trademark of the goals we were conceding? Someone just running through the pitch like
but when Ten Hag went from mid to low block to man press, that's when he started to lose the dressing room, and that's when we started to get ripped apart. It was then.
Players like, you know, the for example, the against Spurs, when was it Van der Ven? They just run
just ran the whole length of the pitch. Yeah,
exactly. So this is what happens when you play man-to-man press. Everyone is covering someone. So if someone is good enough on the ball, they have enough space to run. And look at how we play against Bournemouth. Like what they do to we don't even do that to them.
Yeah,
we should be able to say, you know what, they are doing this. We need to be able to put a long ball in behind. And so surely you don't pick Garnacho and Højlund because they can't control the ball. And if so, you need to be able to have someone that carries the ball. So if he's getting pressed and he goes past his man, everyone is taken. So you have space to run into. But this is very basic. Like you can't not know this or not apply this and get paid 6 million a year. Doesn't make sense to me.
It's mental. You know what I mean? It's not making sense, bro. It's not making sense. Like honestly. Like none of it. And the fact that they don't want to hold this guy accountable is killing our football club. Because the one thing I say about the foreign clubs, what I like about them is that, bro, them ultras don't fuck about, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? Them man will be on the pitch after the game if you think that you're doing this bullshit. 24% win percentage, bro. I'm telling you, they'll be waiting in the car park for the manager.
Oh, big time.
And this is what's missing from this football club. Like zero accountability. Everyone's like, oh, we lost another game. I saw, right?
They clap.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's okay. Like it's an absolute disgrace. And then they'll turn around and say we're the ones that aren't real football fans, but you're allowing them to run this club into the floor, bro. It's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace. It really is. It really is. Like the fans just clapping and being happy. It just doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make. And you know, I'm Moroccan, bro. Like from Casablanca. You know the crowds, how mad they are in there. Like the stadium in Casablanca, I think it's 45,000 places. 75 people get in. Like 30K overcrowded.
Yeah.
And they get told the truth. And in Turkey, France.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere. Spain.
But this is it, bro. I seen this league, bro. They stormed the training ground the other night after they lost, bro. And remember, even at Sporting, I think Sporting rushed the training ground as well. Like, bro, this is what should be happening. Instead, you've got United fans making excuses saying he doesn't have his own players, bro. It's like, what is this nonsense, bro? What is this nonsense like?
One of his weaknesses, like identifying players, profiling players, is one of his weaknesses.
But bro, that's the worst weakness you can have as a coach, bro. Like,
it's a fundamental weakness. Like you can be a bad man manager, you can be a poor tactician compared to the others, but you can't not know who's good from who's shit.
But also, like, you can't not know what characteristics lend the best to playing in certain positions. Like, I keep telling people, like, when you look at a footballer, you don't just look at their level of technical ability. You also have to look at what they're most inclined to do, because in life in general, when you're under pressure, you will always revert to type. You will always be in autopilot, bro. There's certain players You don't play in certain positions because you understand when they're under duress, they're gonna do certain things, innit?
Exactly. Like
And this is just what it is.
That low left wing back. He gets put under pressure. He does something
He
that
cuts
is
inside and he'll pass the ball through to their striker like every time.
exactly.
So you don't play. So you don't play him. So you don't play him there.
Exactly. You remove
Do you
the risk.
understand? No, it's a joke, man. It's the same with loads of players. That's why when people are saying to me, "Oh, this player should be playing here." Even with Scott McTominay, I always said with Scott McTominay, he's not a deep midfielder, bro. Scott McTominay is a box crashing midfielder, bro. If I had him and I was the manager, he's playing the highest up in a 3-man midfield, bro. So he can attack the box and get into the area because he finishes like a center forward, bro. Like he's an instinctive finisher. I would not have this guy in the middle of the pitch where he has to dictate the tempo of the game or he has to receive the ball on the half turn. He ain't got feet for that. But what he can do is he can drive with the ball and he can attack the box, bro. So I would have him higher up the pitch, bro. Do you know what I mean? He's a better fucking finisher than Rasmus Højlund by far.
Easy by quite a distance, actually.